number of laps. Finally, we get underway with race 2 of round 3 of the 2021 Asia Talent Cup, the Indonesian round. For the second time of asking, we get underway. Fast start immediately from the number 21, the pole sitter Daniel Sharil has really made a break in the run down towards turn 1. They're practically 8 abreast further back in the pack. Furusato's made a good jump from the second row of the grid. That's Ferdaus as well, up into P3, I think, as early as turn number 1. So a train of riders now from second position back. But the key story of the first bend, Furusato making immediate progress.
Yeah, Ferdaus with a good start as well. Looks like Hongo's up there in the leading positions as well. Carter Thompson on the number 6 machine, converting his converting his front row start into a top 5 position as well. So everyone able to make it through those first couple of corners cleanly. We did see one rider running out wide through that opening corner, but everyone cleanly through.
Yes, so Herjan Firdaus, who came home in 10th place in race 1, his first appearance of this 2021 season, is now taking the fight to the championship leader. And Furusato is going to have at least one bike between himself and the man that he'll aim to beat if he is to take the title here today. Pulling away out in front, then it's Daniel Sharil from Firdaus in second position, the number 10. Then it's the number 15, the championship leader Furusato. Hongo, who completed the front row of the grid, Masaya Hongo, the 17-year-old from Japan, is directly behind them. A little bit of liberties being taken there on the outside of the circuit. Hongo just being picked off by Gun Mie, who recovers 4th position successfully. Furusato getting back on terms with Firdaus now, and Mie following him through. Hongo's been relegated down to 5th position, but the main loser of the opening lap has been Carter Thompson from P2 down to P7. A little bit of rubbing in the top 5 positions. They're only costing one another time at this stage.
Yeah, and certainly at the front of the field, Daniel Sharil has to take advantage of any scrapping that goes on behind him. He's been able to open up a pretty good lead on the opening lap. We'll see if the likes of Furusato is able to close down that 0.7 of a second.
Firdaus was the rider to lose out in. And Daniel Sharil, his closest points rival, stuck down in third. Gun Mie's been the more pugnacious of the two over the last lap.
I was getting a bit confused with my championship standings as well. So certainly for Furusato, the easy target is win the race, win the championship, and he's doing exactly that once again. He's opened up another couple of tenths of a second, but we've seen in this sector of the track, this is where the number 5 of Gun Mie is very fast and able to bridge that gap. But we also know Daniel Sharil in yesterday's race had that edge in the closing stages. He needs to get through into second spot to see if he's able to take the fight to Furusato.
Furusato is your leader. Mie then in second position. We've seen most of the moves in the Asia Talent Cup this weekend, and also most of the crashes in towards turn number 10. They're 3 abreast this time around. Furusato on the 15 on the outside. Mie is getting moved out of the way now by Daniel Sharil, who comes through for seconds.
Yeah, sure. Gained a lot in the entry into turn 10. As you said, Alex, that's where we saw a lot of incidents in yesterday's race. So it is a place where you can make overtaking moves. It's also a place where it can all go badly wrong.
2 laps and 1 sector to go now. We're on lap 10 of 12, a reduced length to this race after a delay due to weather conditions before we could get underway. Race 2, Furusato in front, Daniel Sharil keen to get through. This is where Furusato got round him yesterday for the race victory. Sharil's going to get a little bit offline here, and Gun Mie is going to slam it down the inside in towards 15 and 16 and recovers second place, and Furusato again is able to defend that lead.
Second time we've seen Gun Mie do that on Sharil as well, so we can clearly see Sharil is struggling into turn 15 to get that bike stopped. But maybe just a little bit of tactics from Sharil as well. It'd be interesting to see if he changes tact in the final couple of laps.
2 to go. Furusato has a 0.3 of a second advantage over Mie and Sharil. These two have got to be careful that they don't fight with one another. We know that Furusato, as he did yesterday, has got a last couple of laps sprint in him.
Yeah, we saw in yesterday's race, he tried on the second last lap, the penultimate lap, to open a gap and then leave it with a comfortable gap on that final lap. Wasn't able to do it. Now the key thing for him is this opening couple of sectors. Is he able to open up enough of a gap? We know that the run through 6, 7, 8 and 9, that's where you can use the slipstream and close right up. Sharil's close enough to be able to use some of that toe in the run down in towards turn 10.
Championship situation is fairly straightforward with the 2 riders behind him. If either of them gets through on Furusato, the championship will go another race. But if Furusato stays out in front and takes what will be a 6th consecutive victory of this 2021 campaign, then he will have sewn up the Asia Talent Cup with 2 races to spare, and that's the way it looks at the moment. Furusato has been almost untroubled at the head of the field.
Yeah, he's done a really good job in this race to keep the cool head. We saw the same in yesterday's race, but Sharil is right there with him. Gun Mie has now lost a few tenths of a second. He's 0.4 of a second behind behind Shireel. So suddenly it's left to the top two in the championship for most of this season, now battling it out in the final lap and a half.
It is a near repeat of race 1 yesterday, when on the final 2 laps, Gunmie, the number 5, got dropped back from the lead duo. These are the top 3 in the championship, and they currently sit in the order that they are in the classification as well. For Sato, who leads it by 46 points over Daniel Shireel. Gunmie 52 points down on Furusato, so would need to beat him to keep his personal hopes alive. And at the moment, it's all about Furusato heading his way towards victory. 1 to go.
Yeah, really important for Furusato just to think about where he can defend on the run in towards turn 10. He has been stronger everywhere else around this track all the way through this weekend. He's going to force Shireel to go around the outside into turn 1.
Daniel Shireel, who was more than 0.3 of a second faster than Furusato, the race leader, last time around, gets around the outside into turn 1, and Furusato eases him out, and then there's a bit of a moment for Daniel Shireel coming through the first turn. He's going to have to work harder than he ever has if he wants to beat Furusato, the man of the moment.
Yeah, super riding from Furusato. Forced Shireel to go the long way around the outside then, the start-finish straight in the run into turn 1. He's going to have to try and do something similar on the run into turn 10 as well. That's Shireel's best chance to make the move.
We saw Shireel was willing to make the move wherever he could. Yes, no big moment there for Gunmie, and he's gone out onto those big serrated curbs on the outside line as well. So that rules him out of a fight between these top 2 because there's 0.6 of a second already between second and third positions, and Gunmie has got it all wrong there on the final lap. He holds on for a podium position. Shireel to the outside line then as they come in towards turn number 10. Tries to go the long way round. He'll now switch it back. It gives him the inside line for turn 11. Daniel Shireel has thought about this in advance, but he's not quite alongside. Furusato defends the position through turn 12, where Daniel Shireel passed Furusato here yesterday. These two have swapped and changed. There were 8 thousandths of a second across the last timing point between the two of them. Shireel gets nerfed to the inside. He takes that as his opportunity, as his call to arms into turn 13 and comes through. Then Furusato recovers it coming through turn 14. It's a head-to-head on the final lap that will determine whether we go to another race in the Asia Talent Cup for 2021 or whether we have just settled the series standings. One final sector to go. It's Furusato, the leader, on the number 15. It's Daniel Shireel, the pretender, on the number 21. I don't think he's going to be close enough coming off the final turn. It's a drag race down to the line. Furusato holds on, and Taiyo Furusato claims the 2021 Asia Talent Cup with 2 races to spare.
I actually thought Furusato might have gone too defensive there in the final sector, judged it to perfection. Really good race performance from him. Hongo takes 4th. Thompson's up inside the top 5 once again as the rest of the field comes through to claim the points paying positions.
Yes, Thompson rounding out your top 5. Feardaus for Jeter, an isolated 7th position. Wakamatsu in 8th for Dilla, and Dandy rounding out